Mason for WDHS News. The big news story of this week, of course, was last Saturday's homecoming festivities. Kathy Turner will give a full update of the week's happenings, and Eric Rivard will have highlights from the football game. This and much more coming up on this week's edition of WDHS News. And now to you, Mike.
Hello, this is Mike Anderson for another week's edition of WDHS News. And first up, we have Kathy Turner with this week's feature story.
Thanks, Mike. Hi, I'm Kathy Turner for WDHS News. Last weekend marked one of the biggest annual events on the school calendar. Dearborn's homecoming got underway Friday afternoon with a pep rally. Dearborn's school spirit certainly was prevalent, as there were many students in attendance. Before the game on Saturday, Mayor O'Reilly and a few other prestigious guests judged the floats, and the winner was announced at halftime. The senior float picked up first prize as usual, and the sophomores won a well-deserved fourth. At halftime, the court stood in suspense to find out which of the 6 candidates was the lucky recipient of the White Rose. Annette Sakara won as queen, and Scott Weiler was chosen as king. The dance was held Saturday evening in Dearborn High's own Redwood Room. This has been Kathy Turner for WDHS News. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Kathy. Next up, we have Eric Rivard for the sports. It's all yours, Eric.
Eric Rivard here to tell you about a superb week in sports. First up, of course, the Detroit Tigers. They won the World Series by defeating the San Diego Padres 4-1. Meanwhile, back at Dearborn High, we enjoyed a festive homecoming weekend by Dearborn High defeating Clarkston 16-0. Mike Berry caught a 5-yard touchdown pass from Brian Brace. Scott Mason scored on a 5-yard run, while Rob Love capped the scoring with a 45-yard field goal. In boys soccer, they also had an excellent week. They defeated Novi 4-1 with Todd Neff scoring 2 goals, and John Brennan and Chuck Simmons had the others. Meanwhile, on Monday night, they lost to Livonia Bentley in the second round of the state playoffs 4-1. John Brennan had the only Dearborn goal, but they bounced back on Tuesday to defeat Edsel 1-0 on John Swiss's goal. Cross country also enjoyed a successful week in sports by the boys placing first in the city meet and the girls taking second. I'm here to interview Peggy, Natkowski, and Mark Somerville. First, Peggy, what was the high point of the girls' season this year?
Well, besides working well as a team, we've had some outstanding individual performances from many of the members who are running.
Now, what girls placed in the city meet?
Janet Reinowski finished 5th, I finished 6th, and there are other good performances by Robin Maldigan and Jenny Jackson.
Now, how many seniors are on the girls' team?
Jenny Jackson is the only senior, so we'll be losing her next year.
Okay, and what boys placed in the city meet?
Okay, I took 3rd. Paul Roberts took 4th. John Schloff took 6th. Rob Richter took 8th, and Rob Harris took 11th. And I think Rob Harris deserves most of the credit because what people don't understand is it's not always the first person in cross country that always, is the best. It's the 5th man because he makes or breaks the team.
And most of those guys that placed were seniors. Aren't you going to really be in a bind next year?
Not really. In fact, I think we're going to have a better team next year because as shown in the freshman-sophomore meet held today, we took runners up to South Lyon, and I think we're going to have a great team next year.
Okay, well, thank you both, and I wish you the best of luck. And finally, in girls tennis, they captured the regionals, which allowed them to advance the state. They did so behind the finishing of #1 doubles Linda Palladori and Nancy Pope, #1 singles player Rhonda Brown, and #3 singles player Elena Rokoff. They all won. Thank you. This has been Eric Rivard for WDHS Sports.
Now we have Duane Faitel for this week's weather forecast.
Hi, thanks, Mike. Today expect cloudy weather with a high near 50 and a low in the mid-40s. Friday's forecast, there's a chance of showers with the high. It's going to be warmer and the high near 70. But again, the low is going to be in the mid-40s. And this weekend's weather is going to be cloudy but cooler. The temperatures in the mid-50s. This has been Duane Faitel for WDHS Weather.
Now we have Ed Huckabone for this week's humorous story.
We now take you to the 1984 presidential debate somewhere in the United States with Scoop Huckabone.
Thank you, and welcome to this year's presidential debate. Due to security problems tonight, I'll be speaking on behalf of Mr. Mondale, and my colleague will be representing President Reagan. The two of them are right now locked up in secret vaults in unknown whereabouts due to terrorist threats. Are there any questions for Mr. Mondale?
Yes. Is it true that Mr. Mondale's having an affair with Miss Ferraro? Mrs. Ferraro?
Hold on, I'll have to link up with Mr. Mondale right now. Mr. Mondale, can you hear me fine? All right, Mr. Mondale, the first question is, are you and Ms. Ferraro having an affair? Mr. Mondale's reply is no comment. Are there any other questions?
Yes, I was wondering, what do you think about, the nuclear arms situation?
Mr. Mondale, what do you think about the nuclear arms situation? No comment is Mr. Mondale's reply once again.
I'd like to ask Mr. Mondale, what can he answer?
Mr. Mondale, what can you answer? He answered the phone, didn't he?
Hello, I'm Newshawk Kosch, and I'm going to be representing President Reagan. So let's jump right into the questions here, and let's see what Mr. Reagan's got to say. Who has a question for Mr. Reagan? Okay, there's two of you there. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. All right, sir, what's your question there?
Yeah, I want to know, there's millions of kids starving in Cambodia. How do you feel about it?
Okay. Mr. President. Yeah, stop. All right, how's it going? All right, that's good. The question is, what about all these starving kids in Cambodia? Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. We said, more people should send money over there. All right, are there any more questions here? Yes, you, sir. No, you, the fat one in the blue suit. Yeah. What's your question?
Well, I'd like to ask Mr. Reagan, is it true that his son is in the ballet company of the United States of America?
Okay, Mr. Reagan. Yeah, his Doug again. Yep. Is it true that your son's in the ballerina in America or something like that? He admits that his son is in the ballerina, which you can't hold it against the man,
This has been Scoop Huckabone along with Newshawk Kosch for 84 Vote.
Thank you for watching. This has been Mike Anderson for WDHS News, and I hope you join us next week.
This and much, much more, this on the electric, huh?
Oh, Mark, I can't. Mark. Can I go?
Yeah, I'll say 5, and you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I didn't understand. I thought you, couldn't remember what was next.
God. We're taking the other one.
Hi, this is Eric Rivard here to welcome you to another edition of WDHS News. First up, the feature story by Chase Hutto.
Hi, this is Chase Hutto with the WDHS News feature story. We're interviewing people on what they think they'd like for Christmas. I'm here with Tom Dorr. And Tom, what would you like for Christmas?
Gee, I really haven't gotten to give it much thought, but I don't think nothing.
You don't think nothing?
Maybe a trip to Florida.
That's always nice. Hi, I'm here with
Margie Eichhorn.
Margie. What's tops on your Christmas list?
Dino Kovas.
Robbie, what would you like for Christmas?
I'd like 13 aspirin and a bald kitty cat and maybe some leather boots.
Sounds interesting. Marge, what's tops on your Christmas list?
I'd like a new car stereo, a new car, clothes, a leather jacket I'd like some albums, I'd like a new record player, I'd like some money, I'd like anything, just anything.
That's what the rest of our school has said, but you know what I want? I'd like a car, and I'd like an Argyle sweater, and some loafers, and just all kinds of good stuff, you know, Mickey Mouse sweater, and
Thanks, Chase. If you've been wondering what's going to happen in the weather, here's Marilyn with the weather.
Thanks, Eric. Today, increasing cloudiness with 20% chance of snow showers. Friday, it will be partly cloudy with snow flurries high in the lower 30s. For the weekend, Saturday, cold and windy, high in the upper 20s. And for Sunday, more snow flurries high in the lower 30s. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks for the info, Marilyn. Stay tuned, because after the commercial, there'll be more news.
Hey, have you seen Tri-School News?
Tri-School News? No, I come from Yugoslavia, the old country. No Tri-School News.
Hey, have you seen Tri-School News?
I refuse.
Have you checked out Tri-School News?
there was one?
Yeah, Tri-School News. How about you? Tri-School News? Have you seen it?
I saw it once.
For those of you who haven't seen Tri-School News, be sure to watch for it and check it out.
We're back. Next up, the sports with Mike Anderson.
Thank you, Eric. For this week's sports, the girls' swim team got 13th in state finals after a fine season coached by Mr. Dunworth. For the boys' swim team, they start their season December 13th against Plymouth Salem, and that's a week from today. For boys' basketball, they start their season this Friday against Livonia Churchill, and that will be a home game, so good luck on that. For wrestling, they start their season today against Southgate, and that's home. Well, that's all for this week's sports. This has been Mike Anderson for WDHS News.
Great story, Mike. And finally, Dino's humor story.
Gee, that was fun.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. This has been Eric Rivard for WDHS News.
Faitel reporting for WDHS News.
Hi, I'm Michelle Woods with this week's edition of WDHS News.
Hi, this is Chase Hutto for WDHS News.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of WDHS News.
I'm Kathy Turner for WDHS News.
Hi, this is Meryl Mao for WDHS News.
Hi, I'm Tony Austin for another exciting edition of WDHS News. This week we're going to be having a bunch of interesting stories. Mike Kopsick with the humorous story. We're going to be having Phil and Gia doing the Halloween interviews that they had at the dance. And that's going to be first up. So, Phil, Gia, let's see what you've got.
This is Phil Thiry and my co-conspirator, Gia Oei, and we're here at the 1984 Dearborn High Halloween dance for WDHS.
Hi, what are your names? Jane Shuchuk?
Matt Twist.
What do you think about the Halloween dance this year? I think it's really great. There's a lot of neat costumes and everyone's dressed up real crazy. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it's real great. And the costumes look a lot better than last year's.
Well, what do you think about next year? Are you going to go next year? Oh, yeah, I'm going to start working on my costume tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. It's great.
Now I'm here with Kathy Turner, who is the coordinator of this year's Halloween dance. Kathy, what kind of problems did you have this year? Well, we ran out of tickets. That was sort of a good problem, though. Well, we made 500 tickets, and they were all sold out, so we had to make more. So that means, you know, that's really good. There's, like, lots of people here. And let's see what kind of problems. Well, the DJ was late. We had to, like, run all over town looking for him. And I don't know, everything went really pretty well. The decorations look great. Everything looks good. So do you think there's been a really good turnout this year? Oh, for sure. Okay, that's good. Thanks a lot.
Okay, we're here with like a Martian and his buddy, the Wino. Now, you guys are juniors. This is like your second dance, right? Second or third?
Yes.
How do you like them so far? Which one do you think is the best?
Well, I like the Halloween dance because you get to dress up.
Halloween stunt.
Halloween's where it's at.
Number one, okay. Dearborn School. And you're supposed to be a Martian?
Yeah, I'm a Martian.
And what are you?
I'm a wino, man.
Of course, a wino from Dearborn High, yeah. Well, like, this guy right here has a good chance at best costume. We wish him all the luck. Like, thanks lots, guys. I hope you watch yourself on the news.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot for interviewing me.
This has been Gia Oei
and Phil Thiry
for WDHS News covering the 1984 Halloween dance here at Dearborn High School.
Hi, Mom.
Thanks, Phil and Gia. I really loved it. Next up, we got Herb with sports.
Hi, this is Dave Hebb for WDHS Sports Editorial on sports safety. Now let's take a look at this tennis court here. Now look at this fence. If you were going to hit the ball back to the other guy and you ran into this fence, you'd be in serious trouble. You could be hurt bad. And look at that surface out there. Look at how rough that is. You could trip and break your neck. You'd be dead. This is totally unsafe. The Department of Health, Education, and Welfare knew about this. We would be sued. Now let's go down and take a look at the football field. Now look at this uneven turf. If I were a football player and I was running around out here with these stupid pads on and stuff, and I fell, I know I'd be hurt. I know I would break some bones. Now that is totally unsafe. And look at this. There's like tar and cement right here. You could break your head on that. Now that is not safe. Now over here we've got these aluminum benches. Now if you were running around out there in the field and you happen to go a little bit over the sidelines and you hit one of those benches, you'd be out cold. Look at this. This is not safe. You could hurt yourself. Now from the spectator's point of view, look what you have to sit on. These wooden benches, you can get a sore bottom. And look at underneath. If you happen to fall down, there's all kinds of broken glass and trash and rocks and things. Now that is totally unsafe and unsanitary. And I think that we should do something about this. Our school is someplace that we should come and watch sports and enjoy sports. How can we in all these unsafe conditions? Something should be done. Thank you. This has been Dave Hebb for WDHS Sports Editorial.
Well, that was great, Herb. I love that sports report you gave. Well, we're going to take a commercial break right now, and I hope you join us. Don't go away.
Scheiße, give me the mic. No. Hey, are you guys going to that back porch video dance on November 3rd?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going. Where is it?
What?
Where is it?
What?
I think it's at Evergreen and Ford Road at the YMCA.
What?
It's at Evergreen and Ford Road at the YMCA.
Nah, I think it's at Evergreen and Ford Road at the YMCA. I wonder how much it costs to get in.
It's $3.
What?
Mm-hmm. It's $3.
Nah, I don't see where you get your figures. I think it's only $3.
Yeah, I don't hear where you get your figures. Hey, can I drive?
What?
Can I drive?
Nah, I think you better drive. You're the only one who knows how to get there. And you talk too much.
Hi, we're back, and we're gonna have Mike Kopsick with the what? With the he's doing a humorous story, isn't he? What do you mean there's no humorous story? Where'd it go?
This is a WDHS special report. Now we switch you to our newsroom. Tri-School News executive producer Michael Kopsick has been kidnapped. His whereabouts at this time are unknown. Michael Kopsick, who is a student at Fordson High School, is also the producer of FHS News. He was abducted at Adre's parking lot last week Thursday when using his $1,200 worth of grant money to buy tapes for Tri-School News. As we see here in his exclusive police video records, we see the abduction taking place. Let's take a look. Here we see Kopsick pulling up at Adre's. To the left of your screen, you see the security guard. He has been called down for questioning. He very abruptly just left the scene and did not do anything to help Kopsick. Here we see him getting out of his car, walking to the back. Right now on the left of your screen, you'll see 3 thugs running in. Here they come. The one hits Kopsick and takes his keys, as we see here, and opens his trunk. The other 2 wrestle with him, bash his head up against the side of the car a couple times, while the other struggles to get the trunk open. Here, after several blows, they pull him to the back of the car and throw him into the back of the trunk, with one final blow to make sure he's out cold. At this time, the kidnappers have not released why they took Kopsick, where he is at, and what they plan to do with him. They have released no ransom notes or anything of the sort. Here we see the abductors taking off in Kopsick's car. Along with Kopsick, they had his grant money and his car also, none of which have turned up yet. Here we see them in Adre's parking lot, leaving. They were last seen going on northbound Carlisle. We see them leaving the parking lot here. Who is Mike Kopsick and why was he taken? WDHS News has tried to attempt to show you why we think the abduction happened. Let's take a look.
Down to business for today, okay. Chase, you fool, why didn't you catch that? That was aimed at you. All right, Michelle Wood, she's here. Stephanie Zaludik, E. Anna Herniak, she's here. Christine Myler, 3 times already, E. Nick Rhodes, he's here. Where's that kid from Edsel, the one who doesn't wash? Anybody seen him? No one's seen him. Tom check, E. DeSanto, he's working. All right. Oh,
Gosh.
Michelle. Okay.
I wonder what time
Yeah,
is.
You
So
finished your story.
boring.
I sure did.
You did.
I
Where's
killed
it?
it
It
outta
is.
here.
Well, let's see it. Where's it at?
That's blown off.
You.
This
Okay.
tricycle.
You got your
I'd
story
rather
done?
get my
Not
eyes
yet.
plugged
Why?
out.
I'm just didn't get it done yet.
The pizza.
Hey, you. Pay attention. Wake up.
Yeah.
And stay up too. Now I told you I wanted the story done. Now I'm in control here and I want it done. You're not gonna play around with me. You might have played around with Koenig last year, but you're not gonna play around with me. Now you're gonna finish the story. You're gonna leave right now after this meeting and get it done. You hear me? All right. The heck with you. That's all we're gonna accomplish for today's meeting. Go home, get your stories done, and be back here tomorrow after school and have all your stories finished so I can start editing. Now go home and get out of here.
With pleasure.
Well, I've carried out another successful meeting. Got a lot done, too. Gotta have another one of these next week.
This is probably the most boring, the most boring part of my life.
Thank God it's over. Look out of my way. Get me out of here. He forgot the pizza. Hum-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum. Lock up the door. Oh, wait, shut off the light. Yeah, there. Okay. Where is Mike Kopsick? Who has him? The story to be continued.
Next up, we got Margie with the weather. It should be pretty interesting because right now the weather's not that good, but say I'm happy. I got my White Castle hamburgers. I'm eating dinner and sitting next to a warm fire, well, headlight actually. And hope you enjoy the weather.
Hi, still here? I bet you're wondering about this week's weather outlook. Well, this Friday, we're going to have partly sunny skies with a high in the 50s and low in the 30s. And it's going to look something like this. And the outlook for Saturday, it's going to be cloudy and cooler. Highs reaching only the mid-50s, and again, the lows will be in the 30s, and it'll look something like this. Now for Sunday's outlook. There's going to be a chance of showers, and again, the highs are going to be in the mid-50s and the lows in the 30s, and it'll look something like this.
This has been Tony Ostyn for WDHS News. I hope you enjoyed it. I thought it was rather good. This time we got her with the story, well, not a story, but sports report. Let's do that again.
And, well, we're just about through here with all of our interviews. And coming up, we're going to...
And you know what else? It's these camera angles.
Well, as you can see, the crowd here is a bit rambunctious to get interviewed. Aren't you, girls?
Gee, dude. Whoa, that was great. I loved it. Thanks, Herb. That was really good sports report. I'd love to see you do that again. Next up, we got weather report. Let's do something else here. Try it again. I don't like that.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe she'd been drinking too much eggnog, and we begged her not to go.
Duane, get up. You have lead-ins to do.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, we got a great week of news, and we're going to jump right into with Michelle Wood's feature story.
Hi, I'm Michelle Wood, here with WDHS News. And this week, we've got another...
Oh my God, special news bulletin. 12 students just been butchered by an axe murderer down in Nahal. It's horrible.
That was just another rejected headline from our own school newspaper, The Observer. And I'm here in the print shop with Editor-in-Chief Tom Klink. Tom, how do you make The Observer work every week?
Well, after the stories are done, we bring them down here to the print shop where we type them out on compographic machines. It comes out in the form that you're going to see every Friday. It looks something like this. After that, we lay it down on pieces of paper, and we have our photographs developed, which come out looking like this. And then we lay it all down, and a photo is taken of it. From this photo, they make a negative, from which they make a plate, from which they can print out thousands of copies of our terrific paper, which you see every week.
Well, what kind of advice would you give to someone wanting to get on the Observer staff?
Okay, take June 1, and it's a fun class, but it's not something you can just blow off or anything. It's a challenge, really, and I don't know, I just like it.
Yeah, it's rewarding.
Yeah, it's rewarding and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. This has been Michelle Wood for WDHS News and the Observer staff.
Oh, and now we have Bill Thiry with sports.
Hello, this is Phil Thiry for WDHS Basement Sports. As you know, at school there's only 2 sports going on right now. Basketball, which lost a tough one last week to Livonia Stevenson, 84-69, but they have a chance to make it up Thursday night against Livonia Bentley. And swimming, which won a big meet against Plymouth Salem. But, in a basement, however, we do have sports going on. This has been Phil Thiry for WDHS Basement Sports.
Great sports review, Phil, and now we've got Gia with a news story.
I'm Gia Oei with this week's feature story on the Booster Club. Recently, when I talked to Mr. Dull, who is president of the Booster Club, he said that the Booster Club supports mainly the athletics department because that was the original purpose of it. He went on to say that they have many fundraisers for the Booster Club, such as this week's Christmas dance, to support the athletes because it takes a lot of money to put on all of the sports banquets. The leftover money is used to buy sports equipment. However, this year there has been an exception. They are going to donate some money to the band. Now let's look at a student's opinion. With me now is Ed Huckabone. Ed, what do you think about the Booster Club?
I think the Booster Club is a good organization. I think it should be left the same way it is today, with the athletes having their own Booster Club, having other various clubs have their own boosters.
Okay, thank you. I think Ed brought up a good point because right now no other organizations except for the athletics department has a Booster Club.
Sometimes the booster group tended to focus their attention only on the athletics. And I feel that all the activities in Dearborn High School need the support. And I think that they could benefit from the financial support and the support from the parents.
Thank you, Mr. Pye. Do you think every organization should have their own Booster Club? Well, this has been Gia Oei for WDHS News.
Wait, Phil. Take it away, Phil. Take it away, Phil. Take it away, Phil.
With me now is Ed Huckabone. Ed, what do you think about the Booster Club?
Well, I think the Booster Club is a good organization,
And swimming, which won its meet against Mama.
With me now is Ed Huckabone. Ed, what do you think about the Booster Club?
I think the Booster Club is a good organization.
Daddy. Daddy.
But as for me and Grandma, we believe. Sing it, Grandpa.
Hello, this is Mike Anderson, and welcome back to another great week of WDHS News. And this week's reporters include Thad Avery, Phil Thiry, Matt Hunt, Tom Kling, Dino Kovas, and Kathy Turner. I hope you enjoy it.
God, finally, classes is over. Man, I can't wait to get home.
Hey, Thiry.
What?
You're supposed to do lead-ins this week.
Hold on, I don't want to do lead-ins this week. I want to go home.
Your name's on the board.
Oh, well then, I gotta introduce like stories and say like, well, welcome to WDHS. My name is Phil Thiry, stuff like that.
That's right.
Oh my God, I don't want to do lead-ins. God, I mean, the stories are good and all, like Thad's story this week about the choir. That's really good, but I don't want to do a lead-in for it.
This is Thad Avery reporting for WDHS News. I talked earlier with Suzanne Skowarski, the head of the choir department. Let's go to my interview now. What are your goals for this year?
The goals for the music department this year is to just keep going ahead in the excellent standards that we have been and to promote better music and better musicians and get more kids involved and really show the community that Dearborn High is a very talented place.
Okay, thank you very much. Next up, I'll be talking with Mr. Drake, our new student teacher. Where are you completing your study in music and teaching?
At the University of Michigan, at the School of Music, up on the North Campus, and it's one of the better music schools in the country, so if any of the music students or the band kids out there want a good school to go to, I'd suggest U of M. It's a good musician when they get out, real good.
Okay. You have said that you sing alto. Is that that's kind of uncommon, uncommon, isn't it?
Yeah, in the United States particularly, because we have this image of men always have to sing real low.
Yeah.
And I was trained in an English boys choir, and I was trained to sing alto, and I do it now professionally. And hopefully, let's say that I can get a job in Boston or New York or something, Baltimore, and then sing professionally too while I teach school. Because there's a lot of music that's real old, back from the Baroque by Handel and Bach and things like that, that never get done because they need a male alto. And a lot of kids think it's a little strange, but I think what you need to do is show the musicianship that you have, and then all the kids say, well, wow, that's pretty interesting. The little kids, the elementary kids, that they don't understand that. They think that's a little weird.
Yeah, that's great.
So, but maybe I'll sing for you in class, Ted. Get you to sing alto.
Yeah, no. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
This has been Thad Avery reporting for WDHS News, the choir story.
Yeah, well, that was like a great story about the choir, and like probably next they'll have me do something like with Ed with sports or something.
Hi, I'm Ed Huckabone for WDHS Sports. In football last week, the Pioneers did it again, pulling off the upset over Lake Orion. They did it by Bob Love's 42-yard field goal, which gave them the 17-14 win, thus achieving the illustrious 6-3 mark, which they've been plagued by for the last 8 years. In cross country this weekend, the boys also enjoyed a successful weekend, placed in 6th in the state competition in the individual race. Mark Somerville and Paul Bowers both had strong showings for the Pioneer runners. In girls basketball last week, the Pioneers were once again trounced by Ann Arbor Huron by a score of 58-24. In the game, there was one bright spot. Gretchen Major scored 10 points, had 13 rebounds to lead the Lady Pioneers. They'll be home Thursday, that's today, against Etzel. So come out and see them at 6 o'clock at home. This has been Ed Huckabone in the locker room for WDHS Sports.
Oh, God. Well, sports is sports, and that's what you can say about sports. Look at this. They got a commercial in the newscast. Do you believe that? A commercial. Right now, we're going to do a commercial. I hope those people stay tuned.
Okay, here comes another one. Shh, be quiet. Hold it there. Muse. What's Muse?
Moose, that's a big animal with horns, and it lives up in Canada, right?
No! Get out of here.
Muse is the school's literary magazine. All meetings are posted in the bulletin, and we hope that you'll be listening.
We want you to contribute to Muse.
That's your contributions.
Bill, end of the commercial, right now. Whoa. Well, it is the end of the commercial. How about that? And they still got me doing lead-ins. Do you believe it? I really don't. I think I'm too good for lead-ins. Next, they'll probably have me do something like the weather. I mean, Dino's got the weather, and it should be good. But who knows with the weather in Michigan? My God.
Okay, class, I'm going to give you the weather for today, so when you go driving, you don't sleep on the road. Okay, let me get my accurate IQ chalkboard. Well, what else but a pizza? Okay, Friday is going to be 33 degrees and chance of rain. See the rain? And now for the weekend report. Oops. Okay. I here we have Michigan. You can see too good, but it's Michigan. Trust me, I made it. Okay? Now, for Saturday, it will be 43. And chance of rain and a few clouds. See the clouds? Oh no, atomic warfare. Okay. And now for Sunday, it's going to be 55. Whoa, higher than 43. By 13. Or 18, one or the other. Anyways, and there is sun all over. There's sun. Can you see the sun? Oh, nice sun. And there's no rain. No rain. Maybe a few snow flurries. A few snow flurries coming in. And then possible typhoon. Typhoon take over Michigan. And then nuclear warfare, maybe. And then what do we have? We have Domino's Pizza. Domino's Pizza delivers. Okay. That is all for the weather. Take it away, Harry.
Yeah, well, that's the weather, like it or not. Believe it or not, they still haven't found a replacement for me. Can't believe they've got me doing this just work of a common person. You know, anyhow, this is the only part I really like about it. It's the humorous story. I think it's pretty funny. Why don't you take a look?
Hi, I'm Wink Warts, and this is the new $100,000 Name That Tune. I'd like to introduce you to our two contestants for today. First, from Italy, Mr. Vic Ferrari. Hello, Vic.
Hello, hello, hello.
And our next contestant is from Peeville, Mississippi, Miss Maybelle Buxton. Hello, Maybelle.
Hi.
So, what do you do back in Peeville?
Well, I study hypnosis at my local college, and well, actually, I could do just a little thing for you if you really want me to.
Sure, we'd love it.
Well, actually, our local college has been helping me
really
to hypnotize parts of my body. I can hypnotize any part of my body that I would like to. And today, I'm going to hypnotize my hand.
Ooh.
It shouldn't take very long. I only have to count to 3 if I really concentrate. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Wink, it's hypnotized. You can ask it just about any question there is on this earth.
Well, how many fingers am I holding up?
Wink, it says 2. Sure. Also, yes, it does move by itself. I really need a little bit of help here. If you really just give me some elbow room, I think I can handle it.
Certainly.
Okay, you really have to concentrate. I'm very nervous, and you know how it is. Okay, you just use. Oh, yes, sure, it's going.
Great, fantastic. Sure, it really moves, doesn't it? Okay, why don't we get on with our first song here? This is Bid a Note. Would you like to start the bidding on the first tune?
I can name the tune in 8 notes.
I can name it in 7.
I can name it in 6.
Vic, name that tune. I'm sorry.
On this, please. Vic, here are your 6 notes. Vic, can you name that tune?
Jingle bells.
Oh, sure. Okay. Our second tune, Maybelle, why don't you start the bidding?
I'm really going to have to say this. I can name that tune in -1 note.
-1 note? Are you... Maybe I'll name that tune.
Well, right, Vic, if you really insist.
Here are your -1 notes.
Oh, does your chewing gum keep its flavor on the bedpost overnight?
Oh, sure.
It took a while.
Sure. For the next phase of Name That Tune, I will play the tune, and when you know the tune, you will clank your hands together. Okay. The first tune, here is your clues. Nadal, what is this tune?
Let's pretend we're married by Prince.
Oh, close, but not quite it. It's the wedding march. Sure. Point for you, Vic. Well, here on Name That Tune, we have come up with a tie. And in the event of the tie, we have a special tiebreaker. Could you please remove your tie, please?
I'm sorry I didn't wear much this evening. I'm just so embarrassed.
On your mind?
Breaker.
Here, I'll have you wait.
Don't you think this is a nice chiffon blue?
Oh, pretty, sure. Okay, now for this special tiebreaker, an added incentive, you may, if you will, call it an incentive. Difficulty, maybe. You are blindfolded. It makes it tougher. It certainly makes it tougher, but it will prove who is the better Name That Tuner. Here is your tune. Okay, what is the name of this tune?
Break dancing.
Oh, sure.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations, you are our winner.
Oh, that was pretty funny. I'm starting to like this, man. Somebody get a camera out here. I'm gonna do lead-ins now.
Phil, too late. We gotta wrap this up. Someone else. We got someone to take your place.
Hold it. No, I want to do lead-ins.
I'm sorry, Phil. We really gotta get this on the road, okay? We don't have.
I want to do lead-ins.
Okay, Phil.
I want to do it. It's not fair. I start liking a job and they take it away from me.
No sex, no drugs, no wine, no women, no fun, no sin, no you, no wonder it's dark. Everyone around me is a total stranger. Everyone avoids me like a cyclone.